Sometimes I'm so on when I'm about to start a video and then I totally forget what I was about to talk about. Oh, that's right. So it's been a couple days since I've seen Inside Out 2 and it's been weighing heavy on me because I've just been overthinking and analyzing every single thing.
Sounds familiar.
If you guys don't know, I'm a big theorizer. I love making theories. I love researching into other people's theories about movies. And today I wanted to discuss who I really believe is the true villain of Inside Out 2. So as we know with Inside Out, we're all discussing our emotions and how we deal with them, and that every single emotion that we deal with is essential to being a human. But one of the things from Inside Out 2 that a lot of people don't pick up on is a sneaky villainous emotion that we all feel one time in our lives or another. Spoilers ahead for anyone that hasn't seen the movie. So in the movie, we are introduced to a bunch of different emotions: embarrassment, ennui, envy, and anxiety, right? As well as nostalgia, which has to be one of the cutest little grandma emotions ever.
Remember when we all finally came up to headquarters?
Nostalgia.
That was like 30 seconds ago, nostalgia.
Yeah, those were the days.
That one definitely plays a big role in my life. I miss the old days, man. Anxiety leads the charge. She's the one that has this whole plan to get Riley on the hockey team and be this popular girl in high school starting her freshman year, and has all these things planned out. But when you really think about the movie as a whole, it's not really her being the villain for Riley's head. Yeah, she's leading the charge and she's the one that's putting them and suppressing the other emotions because that is the one that Riley is feeling the most of. But when you actually take a step back and look at the movie as a whole, every little decision she made wasn't because of anxiety. It was actually because of envy. Yeah, this little sucker right here, yeah, she might look a little harmless and cute and little and tiny and just you want to squeeze her little cheeks, but really this thing can be the most evil and most hateful emotion out of them all. If you take a look into Inside Out 2 and you look at all the decisions that Riley made, a lot of the movie revolves around envy. She gets anxious because of the envious feeling she feels throughout the entire movie. Every decision she makes is solely based on wanting to be just like Val instead of being like her own person, which I feel like we all kind of feel that, right? Envy often stems from us comparing ourselves to other people that we want to be like or that we're inspired by. And this leads really to low self-esteem for some people. Feeling envious can actually breed a bunch of hostility towards other individuals, in particular friends.
It's all connected.
A lot of her decisions were based that she wanted to be the new popular girl in the new school because her old friends weren't going to the same school. And because of this decision of being envious and wanting to be like Val and be that really good hockey player that everyone loves, she ends up pushing her old friends to the side in the movie. And this isn't because of anxiety, it's because of her being envious and wanting a better life outside of them. And honestly, envy can lead to unhealthy competition, where the focus shifts from one's personal growths and successes to outdoing others at any cost. And this can lead one to do unethical behaviors such as lying, cheating, or manipulating others. And we do see something like this with Riley actually breaking into the school and her coach's office just to look at the results for her. I would classify that as cheating. And scientifically speaking, constant comparison with others that is associated with envy actually leads to increased stress and anxiety.
We have a winner!
And this all plays in Inside Out 2 because the more envious she feels and the more decisions she ends up making actually makes her more anxious because she knows it's wrong and she sees all the different possibilities of how things can go wrong. And honestly, this leads to the anxiety attack we see later because she can literally not turn envy off. If you look at every situation that anxiety was feeling, every time that she was indecisive about something, envy would push her to do it. And instead of self-improvement, envy can actually trap individuals in self-criticism, which is what we see with Riley. The more that she feels envious towards others, the more that anxiety tries to build this new self of Riley, which we end up finding at the very end that she is not a good person and that she's very against everything that she's done in this movie. And I think the weirdest thing about this situation is that we all feel this, man. You know how many times I'm envious towards people and being like, hey man, I wish I could be this person, this successful. I wish I could go do this. And it's led me to some weird decisions. I think Pixar shows a prime example of what envy actually can do to someone. Where it may look like anxiety is the main villain of the story, it's actually envy leading the charge to make anxiety feel more strong, feel more felt.
No pun intended.
and at the center of attention in someone's mind, simply because envy feels like this small emotion, but actually is one of the strongest in the mind. In Inside Out 2, when you're getting closer to high school is when you actually start feeling more envious towards people. You want to fit in more, you want to be one of the popular kids, and because of all this, you feel more anxious in every situation that you ever have. And this all leads to Riley feeling self-doubt in herself because she can't be as good as Val. When in reality, if she just focused on herself and let her emotions do their own thing, she would be just fine because as we've seen, she's a pretty good hockey player. What's insane to me is that we all focus on anxiety being this evil villain because she was the one leading the charge and suppressing all the core emotions so these new emotions could take focus. And we see her build a new sense of self for Riley. But really, just really, if you overlook this stuff and see who's actually behind the puppeteer of Riley's mind, it's envy. That little cute face is actually more evil than we thought.
Oh, an invitation! We're going! You need hair like that. What are you doing?
And if you're feeling envious of people, are you more anxious because of it? I don't know. I could be overthinking and overanalyzing this whole situation, but when it comes to these kinds of movies, I have to really deep dive into this stuff. And to me, it just doesn't make sense that anxiety is the bad thing. It's not the bad feeling in this situation because I feel like anyone should be able to be anxious and reflect on the possible scenarios and outcomes that could happen. But if you get anxiety because of the envy you feel towards something, sometimes that can be horrible, as we've seen in the movie. So there we have it. Envy is the villain, envy is the bad guy, and I won't hear anything against it. Sorry, you're wrong. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys check out this video right here because you'll probably enjoy that one as well. And I will see you over there. Bye-bye.